For 50 years, Baja, California has been the setting for the granddaddy of all desert races, the Baja 1000.
This is the 50th anniversary of the Baja 1000. That's only going to happen once in my lifetime.
We're down here in Ensenada for the great 50th Baja 1000. Over 400 entries, and it's crazy.
There's hundreds of teams racing in 47 different classes in the 50th anniversary Peninsula Run. But the trophy truck class is at the top of the food chain, boasting over 800 horsepower, 40-inch tires, and over 3 feet of wheel travel. Trophy trucks are the most elite desert race vehicles on Earth. This year, motorcycles took off 10 hours ahead of the trucks and are almost halfway through their race.
Motorcycles are scary. I wouldn't want to be riding a bike and have Robbie or BJ go blow them by.
At 10 a.m., Robbie Gordon, in the number 77 trophy truck, is first off the line. Vehicles lead in 1-minute intervals, one after the other. Starting in 11th position this year is the number 19 trophy truck of Tim Herbst.
50 years of this Mystique Baja Peninsula. I think we've been in them at least 30 of them. My dad was in the second one that ever, happened.
To be brutally honest with you, I want to win all Baja 1000s.
The first truck went off the line at 10 a.m. Robbie Gordon. They've been 27 trucks off the line so far.
This year's 50th anniversary Peninsula Run is over 1,100 miles long, starting in Ensenada and ending in La Paz.
The Baja 1000 is the longest point-to-point race in the world. Probably the most grueling day of racing you can get yourself involved in. Incredibly rough, but incredibly beautiful. You get to see Cortez, the Pacific Ocean, and everything Baja has to offer, including epic fans cheering you all the way down the peninsula.
Racing in the Hammer class is two-time Ultra 4 world champion Casey Curry.
There's so many good drivers here. Freaking sport's amazing, Baja's amazing. Everything about Baja right now, 100%.
And three-time King of the Hammers champion and off-road Hall of Famer, Shannon Campbell.
Probably the start is probably the roughest part of it. You go through Ojos and then hit some of the stuff we hit the last couple of years. Then from there over to San Felipe and hopefully to La Paz. Hopefully I get to see that place.
Trophy trucks can take on 5-foot wolves at speeds upwards of 100 miles an hour, and in the wide open washes and dry lake beds, some can exceed 140.
The trophy truck is like the ultimate dream machine. It should be illegal.
They don't make materials on this planet that will survive a 20-hour off-road race. You kind of have to pick your battles. I could very easily break my truck in 10 or 15 minutes just by driving it as hard as I can.
I think we're getting about 15 miles per hour, full throttle, it's done. Copy that. But I want to confirm if the truck is broken and it's heading back and it's not finishing the race.
Here at pit 3, we just heard they're having some catastrophic failures with electrical components.
Man, that would suck. Your shit breaks. Well, see, with us, nitro guys, we break our shit. It does suck, but not like that. That's a whole another enchilada, so to speak. I have been a ways away from the pad, and I didn't bring, like one time, and I didn't, a servo went out, and it sucks because, you prep for that to go out and do your brapping. You prep to go out and run your shit. You worked on that thing all week long, and within 15, 20 minutes, something breaks on you, and you didn't have the spare part. That's why I said I have that little emergency kit that I bring of everything that I broke. Okay? So if it does happen again, I got it. But sometimes it's something new. Like I said, last time it was a servo, and you're like, damn, I'm not right around the corner, so I got, I'm done. Pack it up, that's a wrap. These guys, that's a whole nother level, man. You spent, these factory teams are putting in millions of dollars to run this race, okay, for a one-day, one-shot thing. And you guys have seen the video, okay? And again, here the muggy goes. Last time you showed, I'm going to start showing, this is how I downsize my channel to people that actually, I don't know what happened to the camera there, but actually are real nitro enthusiasts. I'm talking real deal Holyfield, not, fakies, guys that are just hobby guys, mess with drones, got E-words, guys that own a big old collection of, 40 or 50 cars. I know all those guys. And I have had, at times, a ton of cars. I'm into quality, not quantity, people. I'd rather have 4, 5, 6 solid whips that I know are granted, I have my ones that have sentimental value because they were the ones that I were, kind of my training wheel nitros, my XTM, and my old school MBX sexy looking Cougar over here. This is next on, it's ready to wrap. We're gonna wrap this thing. We got the modified next level Pico P3 28.7 RB modded by Rick. Okay. By the way, I used to say R&B for a long time. Everybody was like, what are you talking about? And also I was saying JC concept. So, for those of you that don't feel bad. Hey, we a lot of times we say the wrong things, but as long as you know what we mean. If you don't know what we mean, hey, make a comment. Don't be stupid and say, ha, 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 you didn't say, you said this. Hey, if you know what I meant, okay, then why are you wasting my time? Oh, yeah, I got you, man. I got you. You said that wrong. Yeah, okay, go do your own channel and, ramp up your own stuff so I can mention your name or so you can say, hey, man, I got Mr. Muggy Maniac. But anyway, as long as you know what we're saying. But, we make mistakes. All of us do. Nobody's perfect. But anyway, to get back to what we're talking about, the way that I figured that I can downsize my channel, because, I'll be getting, 300 soon. If you think it's a gimmick, I don't know. But considering that some people say that I'm really hard on people, I talk down to people, I'm an asshole, blah, blah, blah. If that's the case, then how would that make me not, how should I say, be real when I say that I don't want subscribers? If I wanted subscribers, I'd be a nice guy. So if people like me not treating them, and like I don't agree to that to a certain extent. I'm not the nicest guy in the world when it comes to, facts. I just don't like ignorance. I call it how I see it. I'm real. I've come, talking to, Elite RC, talking to, Just Joe, talking to, Nitro Bird, talking to Whipkey, talking to, Lights Out, talking to, Fifth Scale RC. All those guys are my outside, behind the scenes, real. Now, these are all that I mentioned, guys. And Mr. Za, and we're going to get into Mr. Za in a minute. I'm going to get into Mr. Za's kitchen a little bit. I'm not afraid to. I'm not intimidated by Mr. Za, okay? And I know he's not intimidated by me, okay? But he knows, just like everybody else knows, it's no secret, the Muggy Maniac doesn't hold punches, doesn't blow smoke up nobody's butt, doesn't sugarcoat it, doesn't have, there is This is in this cave is where the gloves come off, okay? If you guys are into the feel good channel, into the family channel, into the, you know, let's all hug and snuggle and, you know, pat each other on the rear end type channel, you're on the wrong channel, people. Like, you might as well unsubscribe, you might as well tune out, you might as well go someplace else. This is the bar type scene, even though I don't drink. This is the cave. This is where the guys, we talk shop, man talk. We cuss. We say fuck. We say ass. We say, you know, and I'm trying to, you know, be good at it because, you know, my daughter, the only reason is, and there's only one reason, is because my daughter, older daughter, watches my channel sometimes. You know, she knows how her dad is, but it's still, you know, respect isn't something that you just give to some, respect, okay? And most of you old school guys know this. Respect is something earned. Nobody gets respect from nobody. You earn respect. You earn your keep. You don't just automatically are entitled to, oh, you respect me. I don't even know you. Prove you're worth me to respect. I didn't ever beg nobody to respect me. And I really don't give a shit. You guys know I am. This is my channel. This is where I do and say what I want. This is what my belief. This is what works for me. This isn't the absolute. This isn't Muggy Maniac knows everything. This isn't I'm perfect. This isn't I have the best whips. I've got some pretty sick-ass whips. There's no lie about that. I'm not going to be shy about that. Okay? I earned them. I worked on them. I built them what they are. None of these whips came like this. They are my personality according to how I want. And by the way, side note, Baja 1000, man, I've never got a chance to be, that would be on my bucket list, definitely. That's the shit I'm talking about. My brother races that shit. He doesn't race the trophy trucks, but he races, you know, class 1 off-road, which is not, you know, it's not that, I mean, trophy trucks is the creme de la creme. These are the big guys. These are the big dogs. You heard them, 800 plus horsepower. To the ground, hauling ass across some nasty terrain that no car, no motor, you heard the guy, no material is designed. And the first 20 to 30 minutes, if you're hauling ass or designed, like he said, for a 20, you know, for 1,000 miles of that treacherous shit over there to last. I don't care, titanium, space metal. Baja 1000 has claimed many victims. Many. But I think that's what the shit I'm talking about. Okay? They're not jumping, you know, 100,000, you know, they're not jumping 40, 50, whatever feet in the air. They're getting air. Those things can fly. They're built that way. But it's not about that. It's about going 140 miles an hour through the desert. That's sick. That gives me the happy to see you, you know, hello. It gives me the morning wood thinking about it. I love that shit. And I'm going to start showing videos of things that I love, racing stuff, because I am race inspired. Don't get that twisted. I build my shit similar to how those guys are. Not like the exact thing, but that's all I'm concerned about. That's the way I like to run my shit, you know? My shit ain't going to be flying, you know, like I said, we're going to get some air. I do want to launch my shit. I do want to fly it, but I'm not trying to break nothing. This shit's too expensive. I work too hard. I'm not Mr. Zaw and got tons of parts coming out my ass, or if I break something, I'm good. If I break shit, man, it's not fun. I don't think that's fun to me. If you want to test your shit to the limits and you want to jump it off a roof 50 feet in the air and bust your shit up, and you got the wallets to do it, hey, by all means, to each his own. Knock yourself out. Knock your vehicle out, so to speak. I'm not that guy. I want to see my shit like that, flying wherever I'm running, brapping, see the power to the ground, front end coming up, pulling wheelies, getting sideways, just nailing that trigger and seeing that .32, you know, like this beautiful, you know, sick-ass whip here, taking on you know, the Muggy mod, the MM modded .32. It's not stock anymore. It's not like full-blown race mod, but this thing is modded. It's not stock anymore. We're going to run this again. It's in the Techno right now. I ran it in the XTM over there, Muggy, but that's not the test. Let's put it in a quality platform. Let's hook it up. I changed the gearing, changed the pipe. I'm going to show you a little bit. Yes, you are going to get a glimpse. I probably shouldn't be doing this because a lot of people like to copy you. There's a lot of copycatters out there. People can't be original and think by themselves. And I don't mind it. If you want to copy me, go ahead. But you're not going to, just because you copy me doesn't mean your shit's going to run like mine. You're not me. And I don't want you to be me. That would be better. We don't need another muggy maniac. one of them's more than enough. You ask anybody. Actually, one of them's too much if you talk to some guys. You know what I'm saying? So you'll see, and I'm going to show you under the hood of the Techno. Okay? I'm going to show you a lot of things. You know, I was looking at it the other day. You know, and let me give credit to where credit's due. Let me just put this out there, because me and this guy, when he started and came to me, he didn't know, not that he knows a lot of what he's doing, but he's grown. I'll give him that. He definitely made a good decision. He will not be disappointed in the decision he made. And so the Losi guys know, hey, it is what it is. At least this guy, and he's, just like me, sorta, not the sharpest tack in the box. At least he had enough sense and seen enough evidence and proof of what I've done to say, you know what, let me get that whip. That whip, sure, I might be a Losi guy, whatever. There's just guys that just want to go down with the Losi ship, and that's okay, man. I respect that. I give respect to diehard Losi guys like Mr. Za, okay, and other guys that are, okay. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? I just never was that Losi guy. It's the guys that I told you in the past, back when Losi and Associated were actually competitive with each other, I was the Associated guy. But there's too much top-notch shit out there. I'm just that kind of guy where I do my homework, I do my research based on if I am race-inspired, and I know I can take a thoroughbred and I can make it into a hell of a basher, but I can't take an RTR or an older model 4.0, or I couldn't even take that Mugen MBX5, even though it's a solid whip. It's just the technology is not there. The technology is not in a 4.0. Okay, it's not. That's why it doesn't compete anymore. It's not, if you're race-inspired, I don't know. I'm just saying, if you are a race-inspired guy, you wouldn't be running a 4.0. You'd be running a Mugen or a Techno or anything other than a 4.0. And especially now that they retired it, it's discontinued. Man, if you guys are diehard Losi guys, man, keep that shit in a box if you find one. Sealed kit 4.0. Bring it out in 2 years. And you'll get some serious coin for that thing. Definitely. Okay? It is a legend in its own. But it's over. It's done. I told you guys that on how many videos? The Losi ship sailed many years ago. Had a great voyage. Adam Drake brought its championships. As soon as he left, Horizon took over. Losi sank. It's not completely sunk, but it's almost there. And you guys can give me comments, say what you want. Blah, blah, blah. And I'll make a real quick point before we get back into this, because since I'm on the subject of the Losi 4.0 and the Techno. Mr. Zaz said on Woogie's comments that a 4.0 can't lay down the power of a modified motor like a 4.0. The Techno can't. I quote what he said. Really? So I guess Mr. Zaz, and I know you're going to watch my video, and with all due respect, I respect John Bodegel. I don't know if you want to call him a legend, it's too early, but he is pretty iconic already and has put in his dues, has earned every right to say that he's one of the top, wrench heads on YouTube. Okay? But the fact of the matter is, his statement that he made, it's all he said, she said. I haven't seen any videos. If he has videos, I'd like to see. I'd like to see a 4.0 against a Techno, and a Techno not putting down. But I don't have to do that, because I have proof, and you guys can go watch my videos, of the last time I ran this thing, this Techno NT48.3, sick-ass whip, next level. It's not stock, don't get that wrong, and I'm going to show you why it's not stock. This thing has a lot. I've got about, a good thing I bought it used, I've got over $300 in upgrades into this thing. Some external, some internal. Some of the stuff they don't make anymore. I was glad I got it. A couple things you can't get because I had them made. Okay? Remember what I do. I work in industrial aerospace manufacturing. I work with every steel known to mankind. I'm training still. I'm not, Mr. CNC machine guy, but it is something I always wanted to learn. It's not that hard. Okay? Hopefully in the next few years, that will be my main thing. I think it's cool. So anyway, he said the Techno 4.0, he has buddies and friends of his, and most of us know who they are. He said it can't lay down power to the ground with a modified motor like a 4.0. The 4.0 can lay down power better. Really? Okay, John. and you know, I have proof. Like John says, and he always has, you know, in the past he has too. He doesn't talk. I'm sure he has some kind of evidence somewhere. If he doesn't, then you might want to retract that statement. Or you might want to show us, the Nitro Nation and all your people that follow you, proof. You don't have to show me any proof. I already have proof. I ran this thing at my spot with a 48, the NT 48.3 Techno with a Pico modified by Rick at RB Mods. Here, I want to say RB too. RB Mods, okay? Running that thing with I think I had a 14 or 15, I can't remember what, the gearing and all that. All I know is that the clutch is still on it. Matter of fact, it's in, well, the clutch had to change and everything because of the, to set it up inside of the, by the way, you'll see this thing. This thing is going to get nasty in this buggy. You're going to see firsthand what happens when you put a badass .28 of anything modified in an 8-scale race buggy. What happens? Hope nothing bad happens, but I don't know. I ran it through it before, but I really didn't run it that hard. It was still breaking in the Pico. I think the video might still be up. But anyway, this thing pulled wheelies. This thing put power, modified power from a Pico to the ground. You guys seen it. I had all the guys make comment. That thing was getting nasty. That was when I know the balls, so to speak, dropped. Okay, like I said, I'm not making up, making this up. I have proof. So he's going to say that the Techno can't put modified power to the ground? Maybe he didn't watch the video. Probably didn't, or he might have not have made that comment. I'm almost sure he didn't. Because I have proof, video. Not just talking out my ass. Facts. This thing laid down the law with a modified motor. I don't need no jumps. This thing was pulling wheelies like crazy to where it was almost doing backflips. Matter of fact, I've ran the Pico in the Techno and the MBX. Same thing. And they both are able to put so much power to the ground and hook up that they do backflips. Even Nitrobird said one time, "Hey, Muggy, you don't need no ramp. Your shit launches," because what happens is when it hooks up and it catches the back tail, the back of the fin, the spoiler, the wing, it bounces, and what it did is it pulled the wheelie, hit the back, and then hooked up again and launched the shit off the ground. I had it do a backflip one time. It's on. I think that's on video too. I mean, my shit's doing backflips. So for Mr. Zah to say that a Techno can't put the power to the ground, that is not truth. That's. I don't want to say ignorant comment because we know ignorant means lack of facts and knowledge. But I will say that was an ignorant comment that Mr. Zah made. He must not have seen the video. I have proof. So if he wants to, whatever, go look at it. You guys don't believe me? Go watch it. I don't need to prove anything. I have evidence. It's on video. The Techno is not a joke. Trust me. I just don't think John has put enough time into it, or he wants to. And it's no secret. He's hanging on to Losi. John is a Losi guy. And like I said, I respect you guys, man. You're not ready to throw in the towel on Losi. You're dedicated. You're diehard. At the core, you guys are Losi guys. But at least Raja had enough sense to say, you know what, it's time for me to move on. Bird even said after he went to that Losi Horizon Festival, man, it's time for me to... There's guys that are diehard and have been Losi guys for many years that at least had enough sense to say, you know what, listen, let me move on. Horizon is never going to uncontrol or never let Losi do anything or develop anything. They're not interested in spending any money anymore on anything, or they wouldn't be discontinued all this shit, okay, in TLR products. And it's sad. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope they come out with a Truggy. I don't know how good it's going to be because that X, if it's anything like that X, it's going to be just another headache. So anyway, that's where I'm going with this. I call bullshit on that. John, whatever, you heard it here. I have proof that this Techno, okay, will hook up. Modified power to the ground. Mine does. I don't know about your friends. Maybe John might want to get his friends, whoever they are, that have the Technos that can't get their mods to hook up power to the ground. You know, I'd love, man. If I had the time, the money, I would love to fly this thing out to LI Bash and bash with Mr. Za. No, I'm not saying, oh, I'm gonna spank his ass. And I'm not talking all that shit. I'm not. You know, I know better than that. Okay, but all I know is this thing hooks up, modified, stock, doesn't matter. It's a well-built machine. So the shout out that I think I was trying to get to, but you know, Muggy is rambling all over the place. Shout out to Woogie. Woogie, you made the right decision, bro. Okay, you know I told you. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and try to, you know, I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass. That's for damn sure, and you know that. I'm gonna keep it real. If it hurts your feelings, you know, I'm sorry. This isn't a G-rated channel. This isn't a G-rated channel. This is the Muggy, hard and raw. This is where the guys swear and cuss and scratch their nuts and talk shop. Okay, that's what my cave is. This is not a family Disney Channel, feel good, PG. If that's what you guys want, go watch Woogie's channel. And that's no disrespect to his channel. That's just the way he rolls. That's his choice. You know, that's his prerogative. That's not me. You know, you guys aren't ready for the truth. You're not ready for brutal honesty. You're not ready for somebody to tell you, you know what, your shit sucks. Because it's the truth. I'm not concerned about hurting. Oh, I hurt your feelings. Oh, I'm sorry, Muffin. Would you like me to rub your belly and make... that's not me. I'm like, listen, you're savage as a piece of shit. Okay? It's mine doesn't make like na mine's better. No, it is what it is. My shit's race inspired. My shit can bash and race. And John did also say too that they kept saying that the Techno is good for the racetrack but not good for bashing. In a nutshell, that's what he was trying to say. No matter how you slice it. Yes, it is designed. This is a race-winning, race-inspired vehicle, which the TLR 4.0 at one time was. Not anymore. You can't take a donkey and try to race it. It's meant to carry beans up the hill with Juan Valdez, or an RTR, or something like that. That just it's not what's new. It's not next level, state of the art. 4.0 won't take anything away. Great basher, but it's old, man. People don't want to. We don't want to. Don't the people? I mean, look at around on YouTube. Why do you think all these people are all over Woogie's build? You know, if I was brand new, I would be too. I don't see guys building Techno builds. Nitro? Hell no! Nobody wants to see another 4.0 build. Whatever, I've already seen them. Next, that's old news. Remember, you're only as good as your last game. And the last game the Losi has was nothing. It's all about Muggins, Technos, Koyoshos, Associated, HBs, you know, Techno. It's all, those are the creme de la creme, man. Those are the top of the line shit that's winning races. I want to take a race-inspired vehicle like one of these and put my flavor in it and turn it into a basher. Can my shit bash? Well, I've seen it. With the exception of, it hasn't jumped like John jumps off 50-foot roofs. So what? I ran my shit into brick walls. I never seen John run his shit into no brick walls and run his shit, into no trees and survive. That Losi 4.0 wouldn't. It would implode into pieces. Race kit and all. Busted up. You know how many guys I know that race these things at the track and they tangle with 4.0s and the 4.0 never comes out of it? Always busted up. Techno walks away every time, man. It's a tank, people. You know that. That ain't no secret. Technos are tanks. It should be called the TT NT48.3. Techno Tank. TT. Techno Tank. Hey, I like that. Maybe I should patent that shit. Somebody steal it from me. Everybody's jacking. People are trying to jack. And by the way, Wiggy, I know what you're doing, man. And it's okay, bro. You want a sick-ass whip like this. And regardless if you're a TLR guy at the heart, whatever you say, you know this shit is sick. You're seeing it firsthand because you're putting it together. I've built this thing and put it back together 10 times over already. Okay? At least 10 times. I don't want to say I built it 100 times. That's exaggerated. I built it, I took it apart, built all the way down to the kit form, built it 10 times at least, so far. I know it pretty well. Look at all these parts I got. When I got this thing, I got hooked up. So, if you want Woogie, and this is not just for you, but there's a few guys that asked me. We're going to go under the hood. Let's start from the top, okay? This thing is very, very... It's one of the most unique whips that I've laid eyes on and ever got the pleasure to own. It's one of the reasons I got it when I seen it. Okay? The NT 48.3 is pretty sick. Okay? And I don't want to say sophisticated, but it's a technical whip. They did their homework. This thing's made in USA, bro. California. Come on, man. The company's down the street. Techno's an American company. Losi's not. Somebody made a point to that about Mr. Za. Mr. Made in USA, Mr. Chevy guy. Why would you even promote the Losi Taiwan shit when you got a Techno? Losi's, they're over. Discontinued, no more, thing of the past. He's got enough parts to last him for a while, but eventually, within the next year or two, there won't be no more parts available for the 4.0. Don't get it twisted. It ain't ever coming back. It's a done deal. So I would think about seriously retiring it. It needs to get its place next to the Muggy as an Losi iconic vehicle. You know, it deserves respect. Trust me. Just not the future. This is the future. This is the future. Mugens, Technos, and again, like I said, Kyoshos, X-Ray. These are the vehicles that are race-inspired. 4.0s aren't race-inspired anymore. Hello? Newsflash. 4.0 Losis aren't race-inspired no more. So if you're not a race-inspired guy, then disregard what I just said in the last 10 minutes. Doesn't mean shit to you. But if you are a race-inspired guy and you like going off of seeing what these guys race, what the pro racers are putting down, and you want to take that shit and turn it into a beast of a basher, here you go. By the way, another reason that one of my brothers is saying why my channel is growing is because there isn't nobody out there bashing and recreational, whatever you want to call it. I call it recreational enthusiasts with these vehicles. It's the same boring Losi shit. The same, scrub shit. Is there another channel? If there was, maybe, I don't know. Where somebody like me is showing you and helping, teaching, preaching about two of the top-notch vehicles on the planet right now, Mugen and Techno, great teams, winning races, kicking ass, legendary people developing and racing their shit, proving over and over, weekend after weekend, year after year, that these things are sick-ass whips. And if you turn it into a bashing thing, it's there. So, I don't know. I have proof, okay? I guess maybe like one guy says, maybe I need to just jump it off a few 50-foot ramps or roofs, and then people will say, okay, now we're convinced. I don't need to. I'm just saying, some people that's what they're looking for. And I'm not about to break my $1,500 fucking, excuse my language. There's no excuse for I'm not going to excuse my cussing. John never excused his cussing, did he? He cusses all the time. What did he say? Hey, if you don't like my cussing, tune out. It's my channel. This is the man cave. I don't need to apologize for shit. Okay, so like as I was gonna say, these are badass whips. Okay? And there's certain things that if you want, Woogie, to do to the Techno. By the way, your Techno, all your bevels, gears and all that, they're not even the same as mine. I tripped out on that when I'm watching it. Mine's is 48 NT 48.3, this is like the same as yours is. See, remember too, you guys, if you took notes in the past, these vehicles, my Mugen MBX7 RT race truckie, the Techno NT 48.3 race truckie, these two kits, when I bought them, they were slightly used, and I bought them from guys that race for Techno. The guy that ripped this thing, he took care of it, but the guy that owned it prior to me raced it. There was a lot of shit internally that was already changed. Okay? It already has and still has a full set of brand new Avid bearings. They're not the best. They're not Boca. But Avid bearings are pretty good bearings. They're pretty decent. They're not the best. I won't say that, but they're pretty decent. They're better than the average bearings. They're better than fast eddies. That's for damn sure. This thing has a full-on kit of avid bearings. Full-on. Okay? So does this thing. These kits were priorly owned by guys that raced. The guy that owned this raced it in a national. Forgot which race it was on Florida. Right after he finished, that's when obviously the MBX 8T was coming out. He dumped this thing for, you know, for what I paid for these things and what I put into it. Man, I couldn't pass it up. They were mint condition. Yes, they did need some TLC, just like anything, because there's no vehicle out there that's going to be up to the Muggy's OCD, you know, as far as clean. And there just isn't. Yes, I will toot my own horn. I'm one of the cleanest mothers out there. And I know there's other guys that are, but I'm pretty clean. So anyway, these things had a lot of things done to it that I didn't already have to do because these were just set up for racing. But I did add to it. First of all, it's funny. I'm trying to be really, I don't want to put the guy on blast, but you know, and like I said, he already knows. You guys should know. Woogie is trying to make an identical copy of my whip. And I don't mind. It's okay. I'll give him all the tips and secrets. That's what we do. We share. Sharing is caring, man. I mean, I can hold back, but I will tell you, Woogie, there's a lot of things, upgrades that I put on here you can't get anymore. I tried. I've looked around because I wanted extras. They don't make them no more. They were aftermarket. It has nothing to do with Techno. Don't get that wrong. Techno's not discontinuing shit. A lot of these aftermarket companies don't really care for Techno because their goal is to make upgrades. Technos, if you guys have them already, you should know. Technos, they don't need upgrades. It's built that well out of the kit that you don't need to do a lot of upgrades to it. There isn't anything you can do to make it better. It's already an elite class of its own. It's already out of the box, ready to go win professionally on the racetrack. Take it down, out of the box, build it, put it together, set it up for racing, take it to the track, you'll be competing, and you'll be spanking ass. Same thing with the Mugen. It's what they're designed for. They're designed to race. But that doesn't mean they can't bash. That's why I made that big old point that I did about what John Bodegel said about Mr. Za. There's no truth to that because I have proof that that is not true. A Teckno NT48.3 hooks up as good or not better than a full modified, you know, aftermarket everything 4.0, the best 4.0 race truck you can have. Let's just say John's. This Teckno that I have, mine, and I don't know about anybody else, mine hooks up. My modified motors put power to the ground. I have proof. The shit does, like I said, backflips. It's got that much hookup. Almost too much. Okay? But I don't think there's anything, you know, no such thing as too much. I like more. I like my shit to do backflips because it hooks up. That's what I'm looking about. Like I said, I could care less about jumping off the roofs. I want my front end to come up like the Baja 1000. I love that shit, man. I like my shit flying full throttle, full speed, pitching it sideways. Just like Compton, full throttle Compton, he doesn't go jumping off a bunch of shit for the most part. That guy just likes to go full throttle. I made a joke and I called him, I said, hey, full throttle Compton, can I call you Lead Finger Compton? Because that guy just, you know, duct tapes the trigger wide open and he just goes for it, man. I love watching that guy. That thing is just all over the place. Anything that guy owns, he only knows one speed. Full throttle. That's why they call him full throttle. That's how I am, man. I don't care about, you know, the jumping thing, yeah, that does do nothing for me, really. Getting a little bit of air here and there, a couple little jumps, yeah, that's cool. I want to see my shit lay down, power to the ground, which my shit does. I have proof of it all over my videos. Okay? That just kind of, you know, you can obviously, that just kind of like, really? Really, John? You want to talk like 4.0 is the shit? It's not. Used to be, not anymore. Even to this day. It's a hell of a basher. I give it respect, yes, but come on. Don't, you know. Let's go by facts and proof. I have it. So anyway, enough of that. A lot of people won't say that about John. Won't, you know, and I'm not calling him out. I made the comment. You can go read it on Woogie's channel. I made a whole long column of my response to what he said. Okay? I put him on the spot. I'm not saying I called him out. It is what it is. I put him on the spot. John is not in 8th scale the game anymore. He's out of the loop. He is what he is. He knows a lot. He's got more knowledge and more wisdom of nitro 8th scale than even me. But you're only as good as your last game. When's the last time he even ran his stuff on video? What? It's been almost a year? Almost, it's a long time. I forgot. Go do the research. I'm going to find out. It's been over a year. He's 5th scale. John is 5th scale guy, man. He's not 8th scale nitro anymore. Until he comes back, gets the cobwebs off, and it's like riding a bike. He hasn't forgot anything, okay? But he's not in the loop like he used to be. He just isn't. It is what it is. Facts, not fiction. Yes, he is an icon. Yes, he knows his shit. Yes, he has more experience than anybody, most people in bashing and all that, okay? But still, come on, people. Let's be real. Mr. John Bodegel is not in the inner circle of the here and the now of Nitro. On video, anyway. I could be wrong. I haven't seen any videos of 8th scale Nitro for him. It's all 5th scale. 5th scale, 5th scale, 5th scale, 5th scale, 5th scale. I watch his videos still, every single one of them. Don't miss one of them. I watched them all many times. I will still continue to, because he's my mentor. He's the one that showed me. I'm just like, you know what? Let me take this. It's okay, John. Give me the baton. Let me and other guys that are doing the job out there, let us take this shit to the levels that you didn't either want to or didn't have the time for or whatever. Let us do it. And he can coach us. I take his advice all the time. He's constantly making comments on my channel and coaching me. Not every single time, but periodically he jumps on there. He knows what I'm doing. And he also knows that I'm the wild child, man. I'm the muggy maniac to the extreme. I'm more maniac than anything. Because I'm not. This is something that I want to just let's go to different levels. Let's think outside of the box. Let's when everybody's going left, let's go right. When everybody's getting low seat, let me get a Mugen and a Techno. When everybody's bashing low seat, and everybody's bashing Savages, and everybody's bashing everything except Technos, Mugens, all these top-notch race kits. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. Let the muggy do. Let somebody's got to do it. It ain't an easy job, but somebody's got to do this shit. If nobody else wants to build sick-ass, next-level, bashing, trashing, crashing, recreational, whatever the hell you want to call it, whips like this, let me do it. Obviously, Woogie knows. It's the only reason he started doing this is because of me, and I'm not going to take all the credit for whatever. And I don't expect him to ever even say, hey, you know what, Muggy, thank you. If it wasn't for you, I give John praise all the time. Credit due where credit's due, And that's not a shot at Woogie. It's just, maybe I don't care. It's not what I do this for. You pat me on the back, say, hey, thank you, Muggy. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be alive. That's not what I'm saying. And there's so many guys that have stolen my thunder and will continue to steal my thunder, whatever. Some of the best ideas are stolen, right? So, I will let you know before I show you under the hood of this sick-ass whip, okay, like next level, one of a kind, because it is mine, it is my flavor. I haven't seen one exactly like this, and there isn't one. I haven't seen it yet. And I can say that with utmost confidence. But if you want to do it like this, there's a lot of things you're going to have to do. There's a lot of things you won't be able to do because not to say that only I can do it, but in a certain sense, there's a lot of things that, that you just can't find. It's really hard to find shit for these Technos because they're not made to upgrade. There's no need to. They're solid out of the box. Now, Mugen is too, but Adam Drake, he likes to fine-tune stuff. Adam Drake's just a mad, he's a professor. Professor's always looking for that next little angle. He's looking for that next edge. That's what I love about Adam and the Mugens and why I like the Mugens. Because there is so many different tuning options on this thing. I love it. I'm never bored with this thing. Not that I'm bored with this thing, but in the sense, I work more on any vehicle except for this one. I do the least amount of work on because there's nothing to do to it. There's very little upgrades to it. So anyway, let's get to the chase. This is going to be another hour, okay? Let's go under the hood of the Muggy's sick ass, one of a kind, next level Techno NT 48.3. Now we'll start at the outside, what you can see, and then we'll go internally. Now obviously J Concepts, not JC Concepts. That's funny because I used to say it all the time too. J Concepts. Okay, I've tried different bodies. Proline bodies are good. They're just not these things are the thickest bodies that I found. Bitty bodies, cheap. Proline, cheap. These J Concepts are, man, this thing is probably a 0.5 millimeter thicker than the plastic on the Prolines. That's why I got one. I mean, I didn't get one. This one came with it. I mean, I scored on this deal. You guys seen the video. If not, go back and watch it. Okay, I got it. That's why, man, I am so happy I got this. And I was still worried when I got it if there was going to be things wrong. I had to pull it apart and do a little bit of cleaning. A little bit of elbow grease, but it was worth it. Okay, definitely saved me lots of money. I spent half of what Woogie spent. So I was able to take the $300 that I saved on this kit and put it into the upgrades that I wanted. And a lot of them are cosmetics, okay? But a lot of them are things that I felt was necessary if I was going to really, you know, run this thing hard, if I wasn't going to race it. And I still can race it. That's what I like about Technos. Okay, I can beat this thing up hard if I want, plus I can race it and be competitive. Not just race it, okay, and show up, but actually, you know, be competitive and spank some ass. Okay, so the concept body, what you want to do, I suggest, because of the way these tanks are, this is where you want to cut the hole. Perfect. You want to cut a slit or a hole. I did this hole in the concept's body in the front. I don't know the diameter or the measurements. I would say about the size of a quarter almost. This is what you want. These are the best. These are made by DE Racing. Look them up. They're the tank puller, whatever you call them. I love this thing. Actually, in fact, this is a different one that I have on here on the Mugen. But the one on the Techno, this is DE Racing. Matter of fact, it said, I don't know the part number. You don't have to look it up. If you guys really need any of these, are really interested in any of these things that I'm going to show you, hit me up and I'll try to find part numbers. But like I said, a lot of the stuff you can't get. It's very hard to find. Okay, so the concept body, sick. I did my own paint job. I wasn't the guy, and like me and Elite talked about that was just going to go send it out and spend the money, even if I had the money to get it painted. That takes away from me making it my own. Painting your own and learning to do your own bodies, putting your own stamp on it, that's what makes these vehicles your vehicle. Okay, you want to copy me? Go ahead. You want to send your body out, get it custom? Go ahead. But it doesn't make it yours. You didn't do it. You can't say it's me. Doesn't even have your personality. This vehicle is my personality from the chassis all the way up. Everything. And that's what I am about. Elite's exactly the same way. Me and Elite talk about that all the time. He doesn't send his bodies out to get painted custom either, like some people do. Because Elite's all, why? If I did that, that would make it not mine. I want to make this vehicle unique. This is my body. Nobody even does these picture arts. There's one video on it. Okay? Velocity Magazine did it. They did a Star Wars one on a associated E-word buggy. That's where I seen it first. I'm like, oh shit. And I've done a couple of them. I'm going to do another one. Wait till you see the next one that I'm going to do for this one. This is going to get another body just like this. Or I might get the Pro line just because it's different. I already have one of these. This is great. I'm thinking of getting the Pro line. This one is called the Finisher. I think the Pro line is called the Punisher. Okay, or the Enforcer. I'm not sure. I think it's the Punisher. The Enforcer is the Pro line. No, it is the Enforcer. It's by Pro line. That's right. This is called the Finisher. Okay, Punisher is the J Concepts body for the Mugens. It's called the Punisher. I think that's right. Don't quote me on that. Okay, but anyway, I wanted to do this to make it my own. I even added some extra shit. I don't know if I showed you this. I put graphite wrap on the front here. I also did it on the back here. I put it on the fins here. I did it, you guys seen, I did it on my Mugen. I put it in the front. I put it on the side. You know, I mean, these are things that make this thing stamped, muggy stamp. This is mine. You can't copy this because this is me. This isn't you. You can't send it out and get it painted. And there's a couple guys that, or a handful of people that asked me about the picture paint, the picture art paint. the glue, the special glue to do this. And I will be doing a video coming up shortly, because it has been hotter than hell, and this is perfect weather to do your own painting. Your shit is going to stick and dry perfect now because of the hot weather. So anyway, that's the J concept. Now I'm still saying it. I love the body. They're thick plastic. I suggest if you do paint your own, I'm going to try this the next time I do a body. Zolatone, you guys know what that is, right? It's that undercoating. Light coat of Zolatone would give it more protection, because as you can see, as it wears, there's certain parts of this thing where I did like 12 coats of paint on this thing, and it's still eventually going to come through. That's why where it was coming through right here, I just put the graphite wrap on it. But anyway, that's the body. Let's move on. That's the DE Racing strap. Okay, the hubs, these aren't stock Techno hubs. These hubs are actually, they're extended, which gives this Techno already has a wide stance, has an even wider stance than a normal Techno. This thing is wider than even the Mugen. The Mugen's wide. This thing is extra wide. These actually are Mugen. You have to do some customizing. Not a lot, but like I said, I know how to do machine work and shit like that in metal. So I got these, and the reason I put them on is because I wanted to extend out to give it a little bit more of a broad stance. You know what I mean? And they, and I didn't have to do a lot of altering. It was really slight. It's either the same that I have on the Mugen. The Mugens have offset ones. There's the stock ones that Mugens come with. Like I said, Mugen's got a lot of tuning options. There's the small ones that are, not this wide. They're like half that size. And then there's the extended. The extended are good depending on what you're running on. They just give you more tracking, more stability at high speeds. It turns a lot better with the wider stance. Corners like crazy. This thing, like I've said in the past, handles like a buggy. So anyway, I've got that done to it. I've got all titanium turnbuckles. The titanium turnbuckles are not cheap. I have Lunsford, and I got a combination Serpent if you want more inexpensive ones that are just as good quality, but a lot cheaper. Just lower grade titanium. Okay, there's titanium, there's Japanese titanium, German, there's different titanium. Okay, all titanium isn't the same, just so you guys know that. So anyway, it's a lesser quality, but it's a little bit cheaper, same lightweight, and it's pretty comparable to a Lunsford, but Lunsford are expensive. So I've got $100 worth of titanium on this thing. There is titanium hinge pins, which I had those made. You can't, I don't really like to show things that people can't get because it's not fair, because you guys can't get it done. I might get some more made in the near future. I'm not sure. The guy that's the lead guy, the CNC guy where I work, I had to really keep it under wraps and pull teeth because, he had to take his own time out to make them for me. But I wanted them because, if that's any weakness on any whip, it's always the hinge pins. They get tweaked around a lot. So they don't make them. You don't try to go out and look for them for Techno. I don't know, they might. I never looked, but I'm pretty sure they don't. And if they do, you're going to spend about $100. It wasn't cheap to have these ones made. So I've got titanium hinge pins, inner, outer. Okay. I've got titanium hinge pins in the back. Inner, outer, which means the outside hinge pins. These are titanium, and also the inner. They do make upgrades. M2C, I think it is. M2C makes upgraded. I'm thinking about getting them. They're really nice, beefy, machined aluminum blocks, the A, B, and C blocks. But these ones that come with the Techno are really nice. These are carbon fiber mud guards. I think the guy might have made them because I've never seen them for a Techno. They come with the plastic cheap ones. These are like 5mm or 4mm carbon fiber. I looked around, some similar to that. They're like $40. They're not cheap. You guys know this is the easiest thing for you guys to find is the M2C. Now they make a big one, this big one, and they also make the short one. So you can get either or. Okay? This one runs about 20-something bucks. You can get it off of A-Main. King Heads makes one too, but I didn't like the King Heads ones. I have the King Heads actually for the Mugen, which I like. But King Heads makes them also for Technos. I just didn't like. I like the way they engrave this. I've even thought about polishing the inside of it out so you can see the aluminum, so it just has a more, you know what I mean? I'm into bling bling. I like my bling bling. The hood, whatchamacallit, I keep forgetting what the hell to call this thing. Okay, the fin, the spoiler, the wing. Why do I can't remember the wing. Okay, the wing. This is called, I believe this is called the Punisher, or no, I think it's the same as the body. It's by J Concepts. It's their wing. It actually has a piece that I'm going to put on that you can adjust the downforce for racing. It's a little flap that kind of moves back and forth that goes here. I have it in one of my drawers. These are about 20 something bucks. Bitchin', I love it. It's really durable. Very, light but durable. These are by Exotech. These little tiny machined aluminum, I'm into my bling bling. These little bling blings here, I like them. They look badass. They serve the purpose. You don't have to get them. It's better than the plastic ones. They lock down a lot more tighter. The plastic ones tend to want to strip out a little bit. These don't. But these are going to run you about 20 bucks just for these little two pieces. It's not cheap. Okay, what else? Oh, this top plate here, that I don't know if you can find it. I forgot the name of the company. I'd have to look it up. I don't know. But I know they came in a red, black, and a blue. 7075. Now, because they do not make an aluminum front chassis brace, if you guys, when you see Woogie do the front, you'll see this brace. I think I showed it to you guys. It's a weird shaped front brace, and it's curved. So it wraps around the center shaft. You guys can see in there. It's kind of hard to get in there. Let me go on the other side. But anyway, they don't make anything. And I'm thinking again of getting this piece machined. Getting a machined piece of aluminum. Now these are things that I believe are actual for bashing or, recreational use. Are things that you want to look at. Definitely this plate. This was like 30 bucks for this little tiny, it's nice made though. It's well machined, beautiful piece of 7075 aluminum. I mean, if you really look at it, it's really nice, well machined. But this is going to give you a lot more support. You don't want this front end flexing if you're going to be beating on it or crash it or nosedive. You don't want anything in here flexing. This is, I believe, strong enough because Techno's plastics are strong enough to where this isn't going to give you an issue. Okay, but I do still want it aluminum. So I might get one made. That will be in the near future. It's not like I need it right now. For now, I recommend this, the top plate. Okay, now the last thing, now you can get this piece here aluminum. M2C makes this too. But you really don't need it. This is great because Techno makes a tuning option for racing. If you're bashing, obviously you want as stiff as you can because you don't want any flex back here. Especially if you're going to jump off roofs like Mr. Za or do some heavy pounding. Now when you race, the cool thing is you want a little bit of flex, as you guys know that race. Raja can attest to this. You want a little bit of chassis flex because that gives you better bite, gives you better grip and traction in and out of corners and so forth. So that's where Techno gives you the option where you can pull this out or switch them around till you find the right flex. I think that's pretty badass. This is the only vehicle I've ever seen with this type of style, which makes it again unique, of rear chassis brace. I might just get the other aluminum one just for shits and giggles. I mean, you don't really need it, but I mean, obviously it would make it even stronger. They make it. It's not cheap. They're like 30 bucks or whatever, 20 something bucks for these things. But anyway, now the last thing, obviously I told you all the bearings are internal here are Al Abbott's. This thing is one of the smoothest drivetrains next to my Mugen that I've ever seen. I mean, this thing is just like money. And one thing that increased that and made it even more money was these aluminums. Now I looked at these, I couldn't find them anymore. I don't know if they don't make them anymore. I forgot the company even. I thought Techno offered them. Maybe, I'm not sure who does. Or maybe they're just out of them. They're 7075 aluminum. Now I measured them. The stock ones, which come on there, that I have, what did I do with it? I have it somewhere around here. I was laying around, I'm messing with it. But you'll see, the stock drive shaft is 3.5 millimeters. This thing here, even though it's aluminum, okay, it's heat treated, anodized, it doesn't flex, it's pretty beefy, okay? But this thing is 4.5 millimeters. It's 1.5 millimeters thicker than the stock ones. The stock ones really, even though they're steel, they're real flimsy. It's just thin metal. I don't even know what kind of metal it is. I mean, I could tell you what kind of metal it is, but I can just tell by looking at it, it's not the strongest. So I was like, when I found these, I replaced them immediately. Thicker, lighter, More importantly, less weight to turn. Okay, hell of a lot lighter than the stock steel ones. And I have the front one too. You can't see it. Maybe you guys can see it. Can you guys see that down in there? Right in between. It's kind of hard. They don't give you a lot of room in between there, man. It's tight in there. But it's, you know, it spins beautiful now. This thing, when you're firing it up, and you know how sometimes your motor, you fire it up and it runs, ring, 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 and the wheels get spinning, and then it just dies out, whatever. This thing has such a smooth drivetrain, that shit just keeps on rolling for like a minute. So anyway, that's a look inside under the hood of the Muggy. Obviously, we're running the LRP MM modded .32 badass motor. We're gonna go with the again. Remember last time I ran that Reds pipe on it. It liked it, had a lot of top end. It just lacked bottom end. This is where we're gonna do the 41001. I'm gonna try a 41032. Like I said, I'm kind of, if this was a full-on race modded motor, you know, to the hill. It is modded. Trust me, it's nasty, more than stock, okay? But it's not the full race mod. If it was, I wouldn't even be running this. We'd be running 9886, 41032, okay? So anyway, that's a look under the hood of the Muddy. Also, motor saver outerwear. It's going to cost you $40. If you have a Techno, it is a must. It fits under the bodies of, I don't know about the Techno body, but it fits under the hood of the J Concepts. Okay, and if you have the Mugen, same thing. If you need a part number on this, I'll have to dig it out. I'm not sure. It's on eBay. It's the one that they run on the Savage. Okay, but you have to. I can't stress this enough. Protect your shit, people. And now that you can run it underneath the hood, remember the Losies you can't because of there's no room. The Technos you can, and I'm so glad you can. I do not run anything without a full-blown motor saver and outerwear. Except the buggy, because it just won't fit. I can only run the outerwear. This is full-on 100% protection, man, to the extremes. And you know me, I'm all about protecting my shit. So anyway, there's under the hood of the Techno. Next level, one of a kind. This is the Muggy's Techno. So you can try to copy it, do whatever you want. Servos I'm running, these are the only Savoxes, 0254MG, whatever. I don't know the exact number. There you go. Pause. You know, never had a problem with. Other Savoxes I've had issues with. These are about 40-something bucks a piece. They're not expensive, but again, like I said, I'm not spending $150 on servos because I don't race. Never had an issue. I beat the shit out of these. I ran this thing. Trust me, these things have been abused, and I haven't had any issues with it. And it's the only Savoxes that I can say. I've had all the other different types of Savoxes. They're just having issues with those things, man. You know. So I'm not about to, you know, shell out any money. I got a couple of them, like I said, coming back to me, and I just keep them on the side. I'm running the JXs. When those take a shit on me, whenever that might be, I'm going JX, 50, 60 bucks. The ones that Elite recommended to me, he's never had issues, been running them for years. 5th scale, 8th scale, their money. I have a couple of them, never had an issue with them, okay? But just beware of, you know, servo issues. You want the best servo, not on your steering, on your throttle. Because if that shit goes out on your throttle, bye-bye. See you, whip. Into the wall. Back to kit form, meaning in pieces. So anyway, there you go. There's another hour of the Mikey Maniac ranting and raving. You guys probably won't get this video till it'll probably be the next day. So just keep in mind I made this a day ago. It just takes a while for it to upload, and sometimes they don't upload it right away. And so forth, because I need to watch it and make, you know, just to see how it came out. I like to watch my shit. So I can, you know, I know when people say, hey, I heard this on this in video. Yeah, I already know. Yeah, my bad. I apologize. I said this wrong, did that, whatever. Sure. So anyway, shout out to all the other guys that I mentioned. You guys know who you are that I talk on the phone. Those are my true circle of gearheads. We have an outside circle, or I do. You know, starting to be mostly Mugens and Techno guys. You know, there's a few Losi 4.0 guys in there, and it's not I don't hate those guys. I mean, sure, I talk shit about Losi because I just hold that company, and I've always held them to a high standard. As soon as they dropped standards, I was all over their shit like a hobo on a hot dog, because they need to be held accountable for the actions and the things that they, you know, do, because it affects us guys out here and those Losi guys that deserve a quality platform because they're loyal to you, Be loyal to them. Freaking Horizon and TLR. And that's what makes me mad. And that's why I so criticize TLR all the time. Because it's them and it's Horizon's fault. Not just Horizon. Takes two to tango, people. TLR is just as guilty of the bullshit that they do as Horizon is. Horizon didn't put a gun to their head and say, oh, we're taking over. Low-C let them. TLR let them. That's shame on them. Okay, so that is what it is. Keeping it real as I can. In the Nitro Cave, we're cussing, we're swearing, we're talking about gearhead shit, we're watching Baja 1000s, we're watching man shit in here, man. If I was a beer drinker, we'd be cracking beers too. I'm not, I don't drink, so you guys already know that. So if you want the G, rated PG, you want the Disney Channel, go watch Woogie. He's a good guy at heart. He just has a lot to learn, and unfortunately, and he knows, he's going to learn the hard way. But, you know, I told him, hey, I'm never going to turn him away. You know, I'm never going to close the door on anybody. Sure, I will block people, but only when you make stupid comments. Get your facts right. I don't need you to make dumb comments and mislead my newbies that are on the channel. That's why I do it. I don't block just because I don't like you or because, you know, of whatever it is. The bottom line is I don't like ignorant comments because that taints what I'm trying to teach, or taints giving people wrong information is what fucks up new people. Look at Woogie, man. He got all confused about that. Good thing he, you know, got it together and, you know, pulled it out and got the Techno. Like I'm telling you, man, if you didn't get that Techno, Woogie, you would have been sorry you didn't get it. Trust me. You know, and you just watch the other guys build them and show you them and tell you about them, and while you're just trying to deal with a platform that discontinued. Trust me, I have that thing's discontinued, and I already know, and you can't get parts for it. And that one you can get tons of parts for it, so it's okay. All right, so anyway, that's all I got. There's over an hour. Woo, that was a long one. And it's freaking 90 degrees. Everybody that's back east, battling the heat, be careful. We got the MBX 5R coming up, Pico modified. Okay, gonna wrap some serious ass and I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm really, really curious. You guys will see soon, and I'll show it to you. What happens when you put a modified sick-ass Pico inside a little tiny buggy like that? But she's no joke, man. Don't get it twisted. That little cougar's been through hell and back. She can handle her own. You'll see. Watch. And then we're gonna run this thing. Techno, you're going to see it run again. I'm sure people are going to want to run it, see it ran more, now that they're going to wait for a long time before Woogie gets that thing put together. But take your time. No hurry, man. Do it right. Okay? So that's all I got. Peace out to everybody. Catch you guys again. You know, Woogie, congratulations. Man, welcome to the Techno family with the rest of us. You know, in time, if you want, I'll put it out there. You want to get in the inner circle of all my braphead guys, you know, that talk outside of the channel, let me know. But anyway, that's all I got. If you're not running your shit, people, don't be leaving the piston up in there with no jungle juice, you know, or muggy juice in there, okay, or whatever you want to call it. Jacking your shit up. Don't be leaving your shit, you know, up in the business. Bottom dead center, a little after run oil. We're good. All right. Peace.